Hey everybody, it said I wasn't connected, so I thought I better fix that. So it's Kylene here this morning at Fashion Crossroads with my next installment of our Fashionable Friday live videos. This particular one is on color and the importance of wearing the right color for your skin. So I am a huge believer in this. I really think that it makes a whole lot of sense to take the time to try to figure out what colors are best for you, because it really does make a difference. And we know that, right? You've had those experiences where you've worn the wrong color and people have asked you if you were feeling okay all day. Are you sick? Are you tired? Those are times when, if you're not sick and you're not tired, you just chose the wrong color for you, and it can make such a huge difference. And so I really do believe in it. I first got my colors done professionally, probably 5 or 6 years ago, by Nancy Taylor Farrell, and I think she's still doing colors. She's in Boulder, Colorado. But anyway, I went and sat down with her, and she came up with this wonderful, beautiful palette of colors that are good for me. And color had always kind of mystified me a little bit because, I'm going to talk about the 4 seasons today, but not everybody fits into one of those boxes. And so sometimes it's a little difficult to figure out where you are, and you need a professional to help you. And that's kind of where I was. I have hazel eyes and, slightly cool. So I tend more towards cool colors, but I can wear some warm colors because of the gold in my eyes. And so it was just confusing for me. So I spent the money to go ahead and get my colors professionally done. And what I found from doing that was that when I would buy according to those colors, then I had so much more ability to mix and match things in my closet, because my coats went with all my clothes, my purses went with all my clothes, my shoes went with all my clothes, and I could take this blouse and that pant and make an outfit and have more confidence in doing that, because I knew that those things were going to go together. So that's one of the huge benefits. I think it actually saves you money in the long run to invest in learning about your colors, because you're gonna buy better, and then you're gonna end up with more things that go together in the end, which I think is a lot smarter and makes a lot more sense. So that's kind of my plug, I guess, for taking the time to figure out your colors. Not everybody has the ability to go and pay for a professional person to do their colors. So what I'm going to teach you today are some ways that you can figure it out on your own, and to recognize that it's going to be a process of experimentation, because there's some tests that you can do that'll help you figure out if you're warm or cool. We're going to talk about those. But at the end of the day, it's about you taking the time to really hold colors up to your face and really look to see what, are they benefiting your skin, or are they detracting from your skin? Are they making your eyes look bright and shiny and your teeth white and your skin smooth? Or are they giving you dark circles and making your teeth look yellow? Those are some of the things that will happen if you don't choose a good color for you. So it really does make a lot of sense to take the time to do this. So anyway, let's get into it. So the first thing you have to figure out when you're trying to figure out what colors are good for you is if you're a warm or a cool. And so warm tone people are the people that have more of a yellow undertone in their skin, and cool tone people are the ones that have more of a blue undertone in their skin. And if you're good with color, you probably have already you have a sense of what's warm and what's cool. There are obvious cools and obvious warms. Sometimes where it gets tricky is in the in-between of those two. Sometimes it's not always obvious which are which. So just as an example, this is a cool toned red. It's a blue red. So you can see that the undertone in that is blue, as opposed to this red, which is an orange red or a yellow red. So the undertone in this is yellow, the undertone in this is blue. Do you see the difference? That's a really good example. Reds are a color that's pretty easy to see those differences with. And then as another example, this is a cool toned green. This is a warm toned green. Blue base, yellow base. Okay? And let's see, let's do one more that's, okay? This is a blue toned, kind of a raspberry color. This is a warm toned rust. So blue toned, warm toned. All right, so some tests about how to figure out which one you are, that's like part of the problem, right? Okay, so one of the first things that they recommend is that you get a gold piece of foil and a tin foil, silver piece of foil. And what you're going to do is you're going to use those as a drape. You're going to take off all your makeup. You're going to, you want to wash your face and then give it like 15 minutes because your skin will have like a rosy cast to it once you have washed it, so you want that to go away. So wash your face, let it sit for 15 minutes, and then go sit by a window so you have natural light, because fluorescent light or incandescent light can have a yellow cast or a blue cast that will skew the results of this. So you want natural light, and you're going to go and you're going to sit in front of a mirror and drape that color around your face like this. So the only thing you see, you're not seeing any of your clothing, you're just seeing that color around your face. So you're going to do that with a gold, and you're going to do that with a silver. And then what you're going to look for is the right color. This cool or the warm will do several things for you. The right color will make your eyes look brighter, make your skin look smoother, it'll make your teeth look whiter, it will reduce any dark circles that you have under your eyes, and you're gonna look healthier, brighter. If you on the other hand, the other one is going to make you look more sallow. So let me do this for you as an example with me. Now, I am not a good example today because I have makeup on, but maybe you can even see it in the video. So if I wrap this cool toned silver around my face, and I'm going to get it right up in the camera, and I want you to look at my eyes and my teeth. Okay, now I'm going to do that with the gold. My eyes and my teeth. Okay, and my skin. Can you see which one is the better choice for me? I'm a little tricky because I'm in what would be considered a neutral, which means that I can wear both colors, but the silver is better for me. It lightens my skin up, it makes my teeth look whiter, and it takes away the dark circles under my eyes. So that's one test. And what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about several tests, because one test sometimes isn't always conclusive, and you need more than one. So first test is the tinfoil test. Okay, and then the next test is your veins, okay? So again, you want to get in natural light, and you want to look at the underside of your wrists, right here. The veins right here in your wrist, okay? If your veins are warm-toned people will have veins that appear green, and cool-toned people will have veins that appear blue. So warm-toned green, cool-toned blue. And you're looking at the inside of your veins. Another test is to have a friend join you, because you can't see behind your ear. You're going to look at the skin behind your ear, and the reason you're looking at the skin behind your ear is because it's often not tanned or affected by the sun at all. So this skin kind of right behind the crease of your ear right here. You're going to look at that and you're going to look, is it pink and that's a cool toned, or is it more yellow? That's a warm tone. So 3 tests: the tinfoil test, the vein test, and the skin behind your ear test. And those 3 tests should give you some sense of if you're warm toned or you're cool toned. That's the hardest and the most important thing to figure out. Which one are you? But you know, you probably already know. Even if you think you don't, you probably do. So anyway, that's how you figure out warm toned and cool toned. So then, once you have figured that out, then if we use kind of the most iconic example of color out there, it would be the Color Me Beautiful book, which is still in print. You can still buy it. Color Me Beautiful. I mean, I think this thing was printed in the 70s. Let's see if it has an original print date in here. This is a reprint. Oh, 1950. So this way of looking at color has been around for a long time. And I want to talk about it today because a lot of people still understand color in this way, in the 4 seasons. Are you spring, summer, autumn, winter? Okay? I want you to know, however, that as I looked up other ways of looking and determining what colors are best for you, that most of the modern articles now are just breaking people down into warm, cool, or neutral. So we're going to talk about that too, but I want to go through the seasons because I think it is the simplest way to understand color. Okay? So I got to move my tinfoil here. It's on the ground, and I'm going to step on it. Okay. So warm people are going to be springs or autumns. Cool people are going to be summers or winters. Warm, spring or autumn, cool, summer or winter. So once you've figured out if you're warm or cool, the only thing that's left to do is figure out your value, your color value. Okay, and this one's pretty simple. If you're dark or light. Do you have dark hair? You're dark. Do you have light hair and light eyes? You're a light. Okay, so pretty easy. I guess a tricky one would be if you have dark eyes and light hair. And again, we're talking about your natural color. So if you have colored your hair, you know, you've skewed all of this a little bit. To wear the right colors for you, you're going to have to go with the color that you colored your hair. Because if, like, for example, you're a brunette like me, and you've colored your hair red or auburn, you've made yourself into more of an autumn because of the color of your hair that you've chosen. So you have to go with the color that's on your head now as you're figuring all of this out. But keep in mind that the natural coloring that you were given is going to maybe help you inform you on where you are in all of this. Okay? So if you are cool and dark, you're a winter. If you are cool and light, you're a summer. If you are warm and dark, you're an autumn. And if you are warm and light, you're a spring. Okay? So let's look a little bit at some of these colors. So cool and dark, winter. So these are some colors for winters. There's your kind of your neutral palette. You can see in there you have grays, you have taupes, some darker browns. And then this is really where winter, this is classic winter here. Classic winters can wear all of the sapphire tones. So emeralds, rubies, jades, all of those tones are going to be really good for a classic winter palette. Even there is even some yellow in there. However, most winters I know don't wear yellow very well. So let's look at some clothing in those colors. So this is your classic winter palette. And these are fall colors because we're in winter right now, so I don't have a lot of spring colors in the store. But to just give you some examples. So here's that blue-red that I showed you. Here's a beautiful burgundy, which is a great, I'm going to step back a little bit so you can see these. Great color for winters. It's a really nice magenta. That's going to be a beautiful color for a winter. Classic navy, another beautiful color. And then again, all those beautiful jewel tones. So sapphires, royal blue is going to be beautiful color for a winter. And then your teals and your turquoises and your jades. Or actually, this is really kind of a, I don't know, hunter green a little bit. It's that, I'm not sure exactly how to define that color. But that's kind of an example of a color palette for a winter. So winters are going to be able to wear all those really pretty, dark, vibrant colors. Okay, and then the next one, past a winter, is a summer. So summer is cool and light. So you don't have dark hair, you have light hair, but you're a cool undertone. So here are some colors for a summer. So you can see gray is in there, some pretty pinks. These are what I call the ice colors. These are the colors that have very much of a blue undertone, but they're not as dark or rich as the colors that a winter can wear. They're a little lighter. And you can see there's some pretty reds, some pretty greens and blues in there. And then here is the purple and green color palette for a summer also. So one of the things that you need to remember when you're doing your colors is that value, the sense of are you dark or light, that really matters. Because if you're cool and you have light hair and light eyes, and you go and you take this color, okay, it's a cool color, yes, but it's way too dark for you. It has way too much pigment. So that's going to overwhelm you. All they're going to see is that color on you. It may be complementary to your undertone, but it's not going to be as good for you as something that's not as dark. So that value part of things is really an important thing to keep in mind. So here is the palette for the summer, which is your cool light person. Okay, so gray is going to be beautiful for you. Couple different grays, light gray and medium gray are going to be really pretty for you. Here's some really nice medium blues. Okay, so denim blue is going to be really a good one. It's a little bit darker blue. Again, not as dark as the navy. Still very cool, but not as much pigment. Think colors with ice or colors that have been toned down a little bit. Here's a beautiful like peach is going to be pretty for you. Mint, which is a really popular color right now, that's going to be really pretty on you. The green turquoises are going to be pretty, and then like a raspberry. Those are all going to be really good colors for you. Okay, hang these back up. Okay, so now let's go on to autumn, which is warm and dark. So you're warm undertoned, but you have darker color or darker complexion. So here are the colors for an autumn. So you can see we're going to have olive greens, rusts, kind of very warm browns like tobacco brown, some turquoise, some aqua even in there, some oranges and yellows, I can't see, and peach. Still have some pretty turquoises, forest green, teal. So some of the colors cross over because, you know, teal is a color that also probably would show up in other palettes. But for the most part, you can see how much warmer these colors are. So then let me show you some examples of an autumn color palette. Autumn is a beautiful palette. I've always been kind of jealous of autumns because it's very deserty. I mean, it's just like, imagine a beautiful desert with sand and all of those things, and that's what you're going to get when you are looking at autumn colors. So you have beautiful tobacco browns, like this cute little vest. and really rich rusts. Ooh, it's hooked. Okay, well I can't, they're hooked together, so I'm gonna just show you both of those at once. There we go. Okay, there's a beautiful rust. Here's that lovely teal color. It's gonna be pretty for an autumn. Here's like another really great warm brown. Cinnamon would be a good way to describe that color. Really nice warm olive green, and you can go darker than this too if you're in autumn. Beautiful true orangey reds are going to be lovely on you. And then the golden yellows, like this color. And then here's another example. Mustards are going to be good for you. Mustard is a big color right now. And then that green that I already showed you, that's going to be a pretty color for you. And then again, another example of a really pretty rust. So that is an example of an autumn palette. And again, there's a lot of colors that you could choose here. A lot of which I don't have in the store because we're out of season for them. But just you can look and see just how pretty that palette is just by looking at the sides of those clothes. Okay, and then last is going to be the light and warm, which is the spring. And so let me show you those colors. So again, still all the autumn colors, again, just lighter in pigment. Not as dark, not as rich. So you have stone, khaki, coral, mango, bright yellow green, blue green, light aqua, light teal, and then here are some others in your purples, and some greens in there as well, mint, which I showed you, navy is in there, bittersweet red, which I showed you. So those are going to be examples of spring colors, light and warm again. So here is your example of spring, the spring palette. So you can see warmer colors, much lighter in pigment. So light peach is a good example, light turquoise. These are the girls that, you know, are doing the pastel colors. And so they're going to shop a lot in the summer because we don't see a lot of these colors in the winter for them. So beautiful khakis. Here's a little bit darker green. Another great example of a good brown for that color palette. And denim, that medium blue, is going to be good for them as well. So you can see just from looking at those colors kind of what that palette is like. So when you are shopping for your colors, you will find that there are good years and bad years for your palette. There'll be years where your colors are in fashion and you can find them all over in spades. And then other years where your colors aren't in fashion and it's really hard for you to find stuff. So you have buying years and you have not buying years if you're shopping for your colors, because you need to, when your colors are in fashion and there's a lot of them, you need to stock up during those seasons and make sure that you're getting a good variety of those colors in your wardrobe, keeping in mind that when you shop this way, you're going to have so much more ability to mix and match things, and your closet is going to feel so much more whole, as opposed to just, well, here's an outfit, and here's another outfit, and here's another outfit. You're going to be like, oh, I can put this blouse with those pants, and that jacket over this blouse and those pants, and that coat, and that purse, and everything is going to go together. So that's the real benefit of shopping that way. So I told you that in most of the articles that I looked up that were modern examples of how to figure out your colors, they did warm, cool, and neutral. And neutral were the ones like me that are kind of right in the middle. Hazel eyes was one of the common defining qualities of a neutral. And so neutrals are going to tend either cool or warm but in the middle. So they're going to stay away from the really, really dark, vibrant colors of the winter and the really dark, vibrant colors of the autumn, and they're going to be more in those not quite as vibrant colored in the middle. So that's kind of where I fall, and so that can be a little bit challenging sometimes. But I think if you kind of get a sense of what your colors are, you can judge things if you really look at how is it affecting your skin. One of the things that I was taught when I had my colors done was that you can always wear your eye color and your hair color. So what she did for me is she gave me these four palettes here. So this is hair, skin, eye, and then blush. And so she said if you're ever in doubt of a color, take those 4 colors and hold it up to that color, and then judge based upon those 4 colors if this is going to be a good color for you, because it'll either blend with these or it's not. It's not gonna look right at all. And I've used that trick. And also this palette thing comes into play with your makeup too. So you want to be careful to be choosing colors, the same colors that are in your palette that you're going to put on your skin, because if you put the wrong colors on your skin with your makeup, it's going to have the same effect as poor colors on your body. Alrighty. Okay, so one other thing that I wanted to talk about with everybody today is working with prints. So it's easy if you're dealing with solid colors, and I tried to pick solid colors when I was choosing examples of each of these palettes. But when you're working with prints, then you have to consider all of the colors in the print. So ideally, you want every color in the print that you're wearing to be in your palette. Obviously, that's not always possible, and so you want to make sure that the dominant colors in the print are in your palette. And if there's a dominant color that isn't in your palette, that's not going to be a good print for you, and that's not going to be something that you want to choose. And let's see, so that is really my presentation on color. Makeup artists, professional makeup artists can help you figure out if you're warm or cool. You can go to a professional colorist. Like I said, I used Nancy Taylor Farrell in Boulder, Colorado. I believe that she's still doing color. I don't think we have anybody here in Casper that does this professionally, but makeup artists are a good place to start, somebody who really knows what they're doing. Even your hairdresser that is good with color on your hair, they're another good one. If you're not sure, ask them what they think, because they deal with color on hair all the time, and they're using warm or cool toned skin to decide what colors on your hair are going to be good for you. Remember also what I said, that if you change your hair, that may change your color scheme. So you have to really be careful about that when you're choosing hair color or when you're coloring your hair. I think that's it. I just really encourage you to take the time to try to figure this out, and it is kind of a process. Don't expect that you're just going to be, oh, okay, I know exactly what colors are good for me. It's a process. Even having my colors done professionally, I still have to, every now and then hold up my colors and say, is this a good one for me? It's close, but maybe not so great. So it's a process, and it's about trying to learn what's best for you, but it's worth the effort, and so that's what I wanted to encourage you with. So we have new markdowns for Christmas. We've just marked down this season's winter merchandise selectively, so there's quite a bit of new markdowns that we just did this week, and I'll be posting some of those on our Fashion Crossroads Fashionistas page, so you can see some of the new things that we just marked down to 30% off. And then my thought for the day is this wonderful quote, which I love because I think it's so important that we keep this in mind. A lot of us are getting ready to spend time with our families for the holidays, and sometimes that can be tricky. So just think of this little quote. The mouth should have 3 gatekeepers. Is it true? Is it kind? And is it necessary? You guys have a very wonderful, Merry Christmas. and we appreciate you here at Fashion Crossroads. Have a great day.